not surprisingly, as we come into the tail end of our presentation, we've talked about a Magento and Sift partnership. So I kind of wanted to walk you through what that looks like, where it can be of help, and an example flow. So hopefully it'll resonate with something that you've already seen in your personal lives, or if you're a developer, or something that you're actively working on. So the thing you're looking on our full laptop here is the Sift Console. And the way you can think about this is, one of the reasons like we're so excited about this partnership is Magento is a great platform for, customizability, being capable, really, trying to help give you the tools to do your job better. Sift is trying to achieve essentially the same things from a fraud prevention standpoint, right? So if you need access to more information, if you need to make some more automated decisions, we want to give you the ability to do that within our console that you'll see here. Additionally, after you install the extension from the Magento marketplace, you can access the configuration from the dashboard pretty easily. And wanted to walk you through, again, one quick example. So in this case, we're looking for some bags. This one backpack has kind of caught my eye. I like the shade of that nice lavender there. So we're going to add this to my cart. I'm actually going to get 2 of them. We complete the checkout, and then we actually see the order represented here on the Magento side of the house. So all the standard fields and information that you'd have if you're actively looking to process. Now, if you're working with Sift at the same time, we're actively trying to assess, if this is an order you should actually place or not. What we do see on occasion, you can fully automate this, but if you want to review the order in more detail, you're like, hey, Jeff, that UI thingy looks kind of nice. Can you tell me more about that? We can actually segment off some of these orders within the workflow. If you want to review them, perhaps if it's a $25,000 order, like Brent was saying, like maybe that's a good one to get some human intelligence behind. And again, from the Sift UI side, this is where we're really exposing all of that information we talked about before. Those behavioral insights, those device intelligence, all of the minutia of what the machine learning can get through. We kind of want to expose it to you here so you can kind of arrive at your own decisions. Again, this isn't, you're not obliged to do it this way, but if you care to, we want to give you access to that information so you can make more informed decisions.
And just to put a little plug in for Wagento, so we did build the extension for Sift, and I think some of the things that I'm excited about is just the ease of the use and the ease of just installing it and getting it running.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of, just like there's a great experience for the merch or for the end user to purchase somebody from a store that is using fraud protection, or specifically from Sift. It's a great experience for the merchant for using, and number one, just installing it and then using it, I think the experience is very superior. And then I think from the developer side, there's an SDK available from Sift, and the developers are encouraged that if they need to extend it, they need to use it in a specific way that a merchant needs to use it. That's also available.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I appreciate, there's probably a diversity of people on the call, businesses of different sizes, small to large, maybe some enterprise customers. All this technology, the ease of use and integrating would apply across that spectrum, right? One thing Jason was really big on when he talks about the company is kind of democratizing access to this technology. I worked at a lot of companies where we just had a tremendous amount of staff and a tremendous amount of resources, so we kind of would leverage this. But I want to encourage you, regardless of where you are on that spectrum in your fraud prevention journey, your e-commerce journey, really this is something, again, the ease of use can get you access to that thing, and you can, just see for yourself if it's something that is of value to your business.
I think you did bring up a really good point too, about the resources needed. The machine learning part of it does free up a lot of real person resources that you may have invested to make sure that some of this is happening. And again, kind of going back to emerging markets, we do a lot of business in emerging markets.
Hmm.
And some of the clients that we do talk to have a whole room full of people making sure that orders are
Yeah.
good orders. And there's a certain percentage of those people, not that we don't want, those jobs to be lost, but it makes a lot more sense to automate some of these things and have the system learn the best users rather than always depending on a person who has to call a person who has to make sure that the order is good.
Exactly right. Yeah. No, I think the automation point's a really good one. As a people manager, some of my most favorite conversations were generally around my team asking me, Jeff, why are you having me review this? This is like patently good or patently bad. Like, please stop insulting my intelligence. And oh, those are, again, just my favorite. But, to give them credit, that is a legitimate like feedback, right? If there's something that's easily automatable, like easily understood as bad or good, again, it's a good use of technology to automate that out. So even if you have some remainder, the team or the staff you might have can spend a little more time investigating. Like, heaven forbid they can get up for a cup of coffee and not feel like there's just like all of this work waiting for them at their keyboard when they get back, right? So you might get some nice benefits there. And also, like you said, Brent, hopefully if you're doing a better job of identifying it at scale, that'll reduce some downstream customer support impacts as well.
Yeah, and a scale is a really good thing to speak about. That as you grow, as your business grows, that you can't have enough people in a room to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that that is okay. And I know that you were at Facebook, so Facebook is actively working on things like this. And
Yep.
if they had to have enough people to handle all the people on the platform, it's nearly impossible. So at some scale point, it's impossible. But then going back to customer experience and how you want your user to interact, if you had every potential user needing a phone call from a physical person, at some point you're going to miss out on a lot of sales because those people are not going to even wait for the phone call. They're going to go to the next website that will ship it to them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I usually don't try to be too like fuddy when, you talk about this stuff, but yeah, that is like a real concern, right? When you think about your phone and all the apps on there, like, I probably order food delivery a little more than I should, but I probably have like 8 apps there. So even if it's an e-commerce spend, if I just am needing a sweatshirt or a hat or something, there's a lot of different providers, and generally I go to the path of least resistance, right? So good point there.